All right, let's put the spotlight then on Kiwi. It's a credit card platform, and the company has recently raised close to $6 million in pre-seed funding from Nexus Venture Partners, as well as Stellar Venture Partners and a host of other angel investors. Joining in to talk about this, as well as their all-in-one credit on UPI solution and lots more, is Mohit Bedi. He's a co-founder at Kiwi. Mohit, thank you for being with us on Startup Central. Let's begin then with talking about this fundraise. How much have you raised so far? Who are some of the investors that have participated, and any details on the valuation picture?
Thank you for having me on the show. But just coming to your question, we've raised mostly our raises closer to 6 million. And our lead investor is Nexus, followed by Stellaris. And there are not very marquee, but very talented and knowledgeable angel investors that have participated in it. So the total investment of the total raise is around $6 million.
Okay. Now, not just that, you've also got the recent news that the RBI has approved the linking of RuPay credit cards to the Unified Payments Interface, or UPI. Just tell us a little bit more about how Kiwi as a platform can really help in order to apply for and get this credit card. How does it help, for customers from a digital standpoint, and which are some of the banks that you're partnering with?
So basically, Kiwi intends to be a solution provider. We are trying to make it more convenient for customers to get credit. And credit, as you rightly said, is regulated by RBI in form of only RuPay cards. So our partners are NPCI and banks, basically. So the plan as of now is, now imagine a universe. If you want to get into a credit on UPI platform, you first need a RuPay card, right? Without RuPay card, you can't get into the credit on UPI ecosystem. Now, for you to get into that credit on UPI ecosystem, you need to go to a bank. The bank issues the card, it delivers the card to your residence address. You then take any TPAP. TPAPs are generally third-party applications that are approved by NPCI. You take that card, put a PIN number, OTP, etc. You link it to the TPAP, and then you start using the card. Now, after using the card, you basically want to pay your statement, or you want to increase or decrease your credit limit, or if there has been a fraud, you want to block the card, you again go to the banking app and do that. What Kiwi intends to do is just be a solution provider to those customers and bringing these entire three ecosystem together. So what we intend to do is we want to issue the RuPay card on the app digitally in 30 minutes, if possible. We will do video KYC, etc., as per all the norms that are laid down by the regulator. We will issue the card virtually. We will link it to the UPI ID because we are a certified TPAP as per NPCI guidelines. So once you are issued the RuPay card, your card will be linked to the TPAP. You can open the Kiwi app. You can go and scan it to any P2M vendor. So even if it is a Vada Pav wala that is there near your office, you can open the Kiwi app, scan the QR. Instead of selecting saving the account, now you will get an option of selecting a RuPay credit card, and then you can make that transactions. Now, the beauty is you will get reward points on every transaction because this is a credit card transaction. And the second thing is you, in the same Kiwi app, will be able to block your card in case there is fraud, or you want to raise a customer concern around credit limit, or you want to block your e-com transactions, which are very customer-friendly regulations that RBI has come out with. All that you can do in one app. So you don't need to go to multiple ecosystems in order to leverage the convenience of credit on UPI. Does that help?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So understanding how exactly it's just going to make the process a lot more seamless. Now, let's just talk about the sector as a whole, because in the startup world, there has been that funding crunch of sorts. Do you believe that the fintech space in a certain way is a little bit insulated from this? You're doing a fundraise at a time when we're talking about a startup funding winter. Are you worried about the environment currently?
So I am not worried about the environment. You must understand that the rules of the game have changed. All the players have become very prudent. They're asking the right questions now. Look at our partners, Nexus and Stellaris. They asked us the right questions. They questioned us on the viability of the model, the longevity of the model, and are you solving for customer convenience and not playing in any gray area as far as regulations are concerned. Now, if you have the right questions in place, you have a scalable model, which is obviously business viable, then I don't think there is a funding winter. But to be fair, for sectors which do not have answers to any of these questions, it's not about answering any one of them. But if you don't have answers to these questions, the response will be negative as of now. So my short answer is things have become more prudent and people have become more careful. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, so at a time like this, it's also important then to keep financials in check, not be burning that kind of cash. So what
Absolutely.
is it that
Yeah.
you have in terms of your declaring your financials? What's the revenue run rate that you're working with? Are you a profitable company? Are you a EBITDA break even? Walk us through those details.
So as of now, we've not we started the wait list. So time will tell whether how much revenues, EBITDA, etc. we make. The plan is to we've started the wait list as of now. You can go to our website and join the wait list. The plan is to launch the product in another 15-20 days with our partners, which is NPCI, One Bank, and us together, and then scale it and pass it on to the customers. Once we have the product market fit is when we plan to scale it. So as of now, the model is still on the papers. We are right now investing in infrastructure. We want to build a great team, prudent, slim team, but we want to invest in very good resources. We are investing in the technology platform, and most importantly, we want to invest in the education, educating people about credit on UPI. There are a lot of new things that have come up. There are a lot of new probably error codes, or people don't understand the difference between P2P, P2M, etc. So we want to invest a lot on educating the customer, and as I said, infrastructure and talent acquisition.
Okay, fair enough. Just walk us through then how exactly you're looking to really leverage the kind of growth that we're seeing in the Indian fintech market, because projections suggest that we could see the market rising to about $2.1 trillion by 2030. We've seen a lot of startups as well, including yours, of course, within this space, get a sizable amount of funding at a time like this. Close to $4.8 billion is what we witnessed in 2022. So what is it that you're looking at in terms of growth for the fintech market as a whole, and how are you looking to capitalize on that?
So fintech market right now, as you rightly said, is growing at closer to 19-20%, specifically on the card market side, because that's our key focus area. But you must understand, credit on you, the entire card market is working on the POS terminal or online spend, right? That is the place where your physical cards traditionally get used. We are trying to capture the market of the UPI payments that were on savings. Now, let's take, for example, the credit card spends last month were 1.47 lakh crores approximately, and they were all on credit card. Now, imagine the P2M spends that happened on UPI on savings, right? When I was telling you, you scan and you pay through your savings account. Now, that market is 4-5x, which means it is closer to 4 lakh crores in India. Now, if that market we can put, because customer didn't have an option except for paying on savings account. Now, once Kiwi comes in, that entire ecosystem is what we are expecting will come into the credit card spends kind of ecosystem. So while the market is growing 19-20%, we at Kiwi are expecting to pull in some spends from the UPI savings to credit. And we should ideally be aiming at around 40-45% growth at our end.
Okay, fair enough. That's the kind of growth rate that you're penciling in down the line. Just also give us an outlook as to how you're really looking to disrupt the credit card industry, because you were saying that you're looking to become the leading issue of the RuPay credit cards by 2026. Are you on track for this? What's your geographical reach currently?
So as I said, we've not really launched the product, but our stated goal is we want to be the largest issuers or enablers for banks to issue RuPay cards. We want to give as many RuPay cards out in the market, and we want to be the largest issuers. Our aim is to, as much as possible, give transaction credit to customers, which means right now transactions that were happening on UPI, we want to bring it to the credit ecosystem, and it's like a joint goal to democratize credit, right? Everybody is giving credit to the top of the pyramid, and we want to slowly, as we grow, we want to give it slightly sort of second or third tier of the pyramid. But as we said, we are still in the verge of launching the product. These are all aspirations. We want to at least issue 1 million cards in next 18 months, million rupee cards. So that's our goal. If we have the customer convenience in place, we are not playing around in the gray area. We have the right banking partners. I think that goal is not very far off. And I think we'll try and make it much before time than our expectation.
Okay. What about the kind of intense competition that we're seeing in the fintech ecosystem as a whole? How are you looking to really stand out? What's the USP? Are you worried about a lot of players within this space having a dominant position?
So right now we are the only players in the market. We've seen all the competition, who's doing what, etc. Uh, you need to look at the fact that we are sort of all-in-one UPI and credit app platform. We are going to be issuing virtual cards, which none of the any other player does it. We are going to be all-in-one app to use your credit card, to get a credit card, to manage your credit card, to get rewards on for your reward points for your card. So as of now, we don't see any competition. But this market is so large. We were predicting red ocean once we obviously go out, and there'll be more interest in the market. But as of now, we are not worried about anyone else.
Give us a sense as well, then, Mohit, as to what the outlook is on the launch of the all-in-one credit on UPI solution. What exactly does that bring for customers?
So, as I said, there are two solutions that are out in or are being spoken about in the market. One is credit card on UPI, which is the RuPay card. Basically, if you issue RuPay credit cards, you can enter the credit card on the UPI ecosystem. The second piece is credit on UPI. I mean, giving OD limits or term loans or personal loans, etc. It was part of the governor's speech as well. That's been proposed by the governor during his speech, and that is I'm not privy to what's happening around it, but that's a proposal which will take its shape and form over a period of time. But my personal view is that if you want to democratize credit, I mean, you want to go to every nook and corner, NPCI will have to bring in those products. Credit card is the first stepping stone towards realizing that dream. And things like these, when they come up or they take shape and form, then that is when you can go deeper in the pyramid. And let's see how it pans out, but it's just still a proposal. As per my understanding, it will take its shape and form over a period of time.
Okay. And just to understand from you as a whole, in the country, has UPI, according to you, become a fairly inclusive mode of payment? Do you believe that we will see a lot more merchants now on board this? What kind of penetration have we seen? Do we still have a long way to go, just to better understand?
Actually, it's become super inclusive. So in my earlier past roles, I was heading the access acquiring business as well. Now imagine your credit card was getting used only on POS terminal, correct? And the QR has proliferated everywhere. Now merchants, as I said, the vada pav vendor in Mumbai to the coconut vendor in Bangalore, everybody is accepting, and the credit card on UPI, if he's a P2M merchant, will work there. So imagine you don't need a terminal now. So that's the merchant ecosystem part of it. But just imagine there are 250 to 300 million unique UPI users in India, registered UPI users. All of them, if you are on UPI, you logically have a smartphone, you have internet connectivity. So there are two pieces to the ecosystem, the merchant ecosystem, and then there is the customer ecosystem. Now we both realize everybody got used to the UPI ecosystem and there are transactions happening. I mean, every month there are records being set. So it is just about leveraging these railroads and giving them other products. And I think there is inclusion that has taken everything to a new level as far as UPI is concerned. Hats off to the NPCI team. I don't want to name them, the architects, but they all know when you talk to the NPCI team also, the passion in which they speak about it, the UPI ecosystem and the RuPay card, it's at a different level. With that passion is when innovation comes. And I think inclusion has been the forefront of what they want to achieve by these two ecosystems.
So what's the long-term vision then for the company? Are you looking at more fundraise rounds? Are you looking at inorganic growth? Walk us through the details.
So vision is not looking for fund rounds. We want to prove ourselves first. We want to prove that customers want it. Customer convenience is paramount. Make sure that we don't breach any guardrails, whether it is as far as governance is concerned, regulations is concerned. We have a lot of aspirations of partners to achieve. NPCI has some amount of aspirations from us. There are banking partners which we'll soon announce their names as we move forward. They have some aspirations from us. We want to prove everyone that we can meet their aspirations, then look forward to it. As I said, our stated goal is to at least issue a million rupee cards in the next 16 to 18 months. And once we do that is when we look out.
All right, Mohit, we'll appreciate your time and thank you for joining in and giving us a better idea of UPI in India as well as the growth plans and projections for Kiwi. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me on the show.